Gotta be, right? Yeah. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! From the top of the hotel.
Hey, Garrett!
Fuck.
Hey, stay down!
Stay down! Stay down! Stay down! Down!
Okay, I don't want to get in. I appreciate what you're
There
saying,
have been
Ken.
receipts that have been obtained from the valet security system that show that there are
that's
dates.
not how we conduct this
Well,
service, okay?
it says that he checked
If
in on
I'm
the
presented
25th.
with a
Has your
question,
timeline changed? Because the FBI has reported that he
that's
checked in
not
on the
how I
28th.
conduct press conferences,
Well,
ma'am.
has the official timeline changed? Because Stephen
Please stop
Paddock...
asking your question. There's a decorum that we have here.
I'm Laura Loomer. I'm an independent investigative journalist, and today I came to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department headquarters and I attended their press conference, which they held in joint with the FBI. And during this press conference, there were a lot of reporters there from mainstream media outlets and other media organizations here locally in Las Vegas, but none of them were asking the question, what about all of these receipts that are coming from inside the Mandalay Bay Hotel that I exclusively obtained that show that the shooter, Stephen Paddock, had been inside the Mandalay Bay Hotel as early as September 25th. There's a valet security system log that shows that his car had been logged and it was traced all the way back to his room on the 32nd floor, and it shows that he had been valeting his car since September 25th. Okay? Originally, Stephen Paddock, what my sources at Mandalay Bay Hotel are telling me is that he originally booked this reservation September 9th, and then that's when the reservation for the 25th was booked, of course, and then he stayed from the 25th with a checkout date of October 2nd. Now, of course, he didn't check out on the 2nd because the attack took place on the 1st, and that's when we were told he died. However, this is the first time publicly that the Las Vegas Police Department or the FBI has even addressed those documents or the date change in their official timeline of the shooter and his activities at the hotel. You can see in the press conference footage, I asked the sheriff, I said, Sheriff, has the official timeline changed with the FBI since receipts and records from inside the Mandalay Bay Hotel show that Stephen Paddock was checked into that room since the 25th? And he cut me off, and then I continued to go on, and I said, there's room service receipts that show he placed an order for 2 guests, right? And he said, stop asking your question now.
At just about 10 o'clock. The shots into the crowd begin at 10:05 and go on for, we said at one point, 11 minutes, but 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So, can you give us what you think?
Okay, I don't want to get in. I appreciate what you're
There
saying,
have been
Ken.
receipts that have been obtained from the valet security system that show that there are
that's
dates.
not how we conduct this
Well,
service,
it
okay?
says that he checked
If
in on
I'm
the
presented
25th.
with a
Has your
question,
timeline changed? Because the FBI has reported that he
that's
checked in
not
on the 28th.
how I conduct press conferences,
Well, has the
ma'am.
official timeline changed? Because Stephen
Please stop
Paddock...
asking your question. There's a decorum that we have here. And I will finish Mr. Ritter's question.
Thank you. So,
I mean, it was unbelievable. He didn't tell any other reporters or any other media organization inside to stop asking questions. And it's a fact-based question. I mean, these are photographs of system logs and room service receipts that show that Stephen Paddock was inside the room prior to the 28th, which is the date that the FBI has been trying to convince the American public of, right? So after that, a few more questions were asked, and Mike Tokes is here on the ground with me, and he asked a follow-up question. Sheriff, when did the shooter check in? And then at that point, the sheriff said, we are now looking at a date of the 25th.
The elevator.
Sheriff, when did he check into the hotel? At what date did he check into the hotel?
Best of my recollection, we have information on the 25th. I had told you previously the 28th. We're trying to confirm his actions between the 25th and the 28th. I'm under the belief that he was not occupying the room between those days. So,
You know how long he was in the hotel for?
from the 28th.
So he methodically.
So they were obviously very flustered and very bothered by the question that I asked that has not been addressed, in the week plus now of this investigation. So this is breaking news, a major change in the investigation of the Las Vegas shooting, because for the first time publicly today, in that presser, as a result of independent media on the ground using their iPhone cameras to ask questions, the police and the FBI said that the timeline has now changed to include what I originally reported a week ago, that Stephen Paddock was checked in to the Mandalay Bay Resort September 25th, 3 days prior to when the FBI claimed that he checked in. That is misinformation. That is clear-cut misinformation. I don't know if they're running some type of misinformation campaign here, but they intentionally and clearly, I mean, they probably had access to this information before I did, with all of the tools and resources that they have. They intentionally gave the public the wrong date. And that was just confirmed here at this press conference. They said the 25th is now the date they're looking at. So stay tuned. You can follow me on Twitter at Laura Loomer. You can also follow Mike Tokes on Twitter at Mike Tokes. We're on the ground here in Las Vegas, and the links are on my Twitter. You can support my work and my investigation if you would like, but stay tuned. We have a lot more updates coming for you. Thanks.
Right, Sheriff, are you saying that the security guard was injured, Mr. Campos was injured before 10 p.m. and the shots were then fired at 10 p.m. into the crowd? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't know where you're getting your numbers, but you are correct. He was injured prior to the mass volley of shooting.
As I mentioned earlier, there was a very heroic security guard who was shot during the search for that suspect. That security guard went up to the room. He was advancing towards the room when the suspect fired through the door at the security guard and struck him. He was able to provide additional information to the police on exactly which room that we were looking at. However, at that time, it's important to note that the shooting had stopped. We're considering it a barricade at that point because it's no longer an active shooter. We're not hearing any further shots.
We are doing a thorough investigation and only want to provide what is accurate to you. We will only give information that we have vetted and know to be true. I will not be speaking or answering questions on issues that we do not have the facts yet.
The Bellagio hotel lobby was sprayed with bullets by a second shooter during the Las Vegas attack, according to hotel guests and staff who recount the horrific experience in a newly surfaced video. Renee Downs made a Facebook Live video in the immediate aftermath of the shooting in Las Vegas, filming from inside the Bellagio hotel, which was on lockdown after shots came firing in through the front doors of the lobby, causing mass chaos and a stampede. Explaining that she was in the lobby with her husband at the time shots were fired into the hotel, Renee Downs also explains that the sheriff and mainstream media immediately covered up the Bellagio hotel shooting, and in keeping with the lone wolf narrative, insisted that the Bellagio was not involved in the Las Vegas attack. This was not all done by one shooter. News and LVPD are not reporting this correctly, said Renee Downs. I don't know about the other hotels, but I do know about the Bellagio. I hit the floor and Daniel jumped on top of me. If anyone has any questions about what they are saying on TV and what is actually going on, here's the proof. We called the police station and we also called the news to let them know, when the shots came firing in through the front doors of the lobby, and the mass chaos and stampede, went under the table and Daniel was on top of me, and security came back over and started screaming, "Everybody get to the back," then we were rushed to the back court. Speaking to a staff member, Downs explains she is filming the scene because what they are reporting on the news is incorrect. The staff member agrees, saying yes. Downs then speaks to a fellow hotel guest, who also confirms on camera that he heard about the shooting at the front of the hotel. The Bellagio is 1.4 miles from the Mandalay Bay Resort, where Stephen Paddock fired on the crowd, and bullets from his semi-automatic weapons could not possibly account for the incident at the Bellagio. When they are saying no, nothing happened at the other hotels, like I said, I don't know what happened at the other hotels, but I do know what happened at this one. And I know that my husband, right here, jumped on top of me, and I was holding on to another lady because she was scared to death crying. There is now a mountain of evidence, consisting of videos, police audio, and eyewitness accounts from multiple people proving this was an orchestrated, coordinated attack by multiple conspirators, and the mainstream media is attempting to cover it up. Stephen Paddock did not act alone. Video footage provided to your newswire by Las Vegas residents have proven conclusively that there was a second shooter operating from inside the Mandalay Bay Resort. Muzzle fire is clearly seen from the 4th floor, much lower than the 32nd floor where Paddock operated from. Paddock's next-door neighbor in the hotel, Australian Brian Hodges, also confirmed the presence of multiple gunmen in the attack, telling Australia's Courier Mail newspaper, "There were multiple people dead and multiple shooters." Many Las Vegas casino staff have also come forward with information pointing to the existence of multiple shooters and conspirators involved in the Las Vegas attack. According to Nadia Gisel, there was gunfire at the Paris casino. "I work there and I don't understand why they are not saying the truth," she said. Cameron Espino, who was in the Miracle Mile shops, also demanded to know why the media won't report on incidents at other hotels, and reported seeing 2 gunmen. Why is the mainstream media attempting to force a false narrative on the public? The answer is simple. The corporate media, controlled by a small, elite oligarchy, is operating on behalf of the New World Order, attempting to mislead the public into believing their enemies are their friends, and their friends are their enemies. It doesn't suit the mainstream media's agenda to have Stephen Paddock operating as part of grand political conspiracy. The media is actively covering up this fact so they can continue pushing the New World Order's sick and twisted agenda. There is an active campaign to sow division and create chaos in the United States. Organized groups are working on behalf of global organizations with the most nefarious of goals. We need to wake up and stop believing everything fed us by the mainstream media. They have proven themselves completely compromised and unreliable. Keep your eyes open. Question everything.
Guess you heard I was pedal to the metal on a damn hillside. Girl, you know those rubbers get
stay down. Stay down, stay down. Everybody stay down. Go. Gotta be, right? Yeah. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Hey, where are you? Where are you guys at? Where are you at? I'm already out. I'm right here. Okay, I'll be out right now. Okay, meet me back at the hotel right now. All right, go. Damn it. Go.